I save time during bar prep. In this session, we're going to give you a few ways to save time during bar prep so that you have more time to study productively or do something else besides bar prep. Our first tip for saving time during bar prep is to watch lectures that cover material you understand at a higher speed. So most courses allow you to watch lectures at 1.5 times the speed or even double speed. And you probably shouldn't do this with all lectures. Like if you didn't take secured transactions in law school and you don't understand it, don't watch secured transactions at double speed. But it can really save a lot of time. Like let's say you understand torts really well and you have a 3-hour torts lecture. If you watch it at double speed, then you'll get that 3-hour torts lecture done in an hour and a half, and you can save yourself a lot of time that way. The other thing is that a lot of students will complain at the end of bar prep, like in the month before the bar exam, saying that they spent all their time watching lectures and they wish they spent more time reviewing the law and doing practice questions. So one way to kind of mitigate this and be at the forefront of this is to start watching lectures right away at 1.5 times the speed or double speed if it's a subject that you feel like you have a pretty good handle on already. Because it can save you a lot of time and leave time to review the law and do practice questions and maybe something other than bar prep occasionally. So that's our first tip for saving time during bar prep. Another thing that you can do to save time during bar prep is to make sure that you review the law and you try to memorize it, particularly the highly tested areas of law, before doing practice questions. Some people will go right from lecture to answering a bunch of questions on the subject that they just watched the lecture on. And the problem is they haven't given themselves any time to review the law. So the much better thing to do is after lecture, go review your outline. We recommend you do it the same day, but definitely within 24 hours because you will remember so much more from lecture if you do that. So go back, review the law, and try to memorize it, especially the highly tested areas of law. The areas of law that are worth the most points on the bar exam are worth your time. So focus on the highly tested areas of law. And only then should you go and complete practice questions because it'll be easier for you to complete practice questions. You'll be faster at it and you'll start to build your confidence and feel better about them. So always remember to review your lecture and try to commit it to memory, particularly the highly tested areas of law, before diving into practice questions. Put that right in your study schedule. You can use the time that you save watching lecture if you watch it at 1.5 times the speed or double the speed, and dedicate that time to reviewing your outline after the lecture to start to memorize it. And our third tip for saving time during bar prep is to bullet point essays. So a big mistake that first-time takers make is they do not answer enough essay questions. They focus so much on MBE and they worry so much about the multiple choice that they honestly lose a lot of points where they could easily make them up on the essay portion. So a way to get exposed to enough essay questions and eliminate the possibility of being really surprised on exam day is to start to bullet point essays. So in the beginning, for example, if you're practicing a multi-state essay exam question, you could write out a full answer. Make sure you get the structure down, the IRAC format down. Make sure you feel pretty comfortable writing a full answer. But then after you do that a couple times, switch to bullet pointing. Because what would take you a half hour to write, a full essay answer to, it could take you 15 minutes to bullet point an answer to, or even less. You just want to make sure that you write the issue, write the elements of the law, jot down the key facts that you would analyze and conclude. And that'll take much faster than trying to write a nice essay on the question that you were asked. So if you do this, you can actually get through twice as many essays in the same amount of time, and you'll get exposed to more essay questions, and you'll feel better walking into the essay day because you'll know that you've been exposed to enough essay questions, and chances are you're going to see some of the same issues tested in similar ways. So that's our third tip for saving time during bar prep. And then lastly, as just a bonus tip, make sure you're studying during your best time of day. For example, I'm a morning person, so I prefer to get up early. And when I studied for the bar exam, I would get up at 4 a.m. and study, and I'd have, half my studying done by 8 a.m. because that's when it's easiest for me to study. Some students like to study late at night, and that's fine too. But if you study at your best time of day, you're setting yourself up for success. If you do have very unusual hours, like I had a student who would literally study all night and sleep all day, and what I told her is you got to start switching your schedule around, a month before the bar exam so that you're studying during bar exam times. You don't want to take the bar exam at 9 a.m. and be used to going to bed at 9 a.m., for example. So keep that in mind. But generally speaking, if you study during your best time, you're setting yourself up for success. And if you take time to eliminate distractions ahead of time, like put your phone on silent, don't open your browsers on your laptop or whatever, don't go on social media for that time period. If you set some rules and boundaries for yourself ahead of time, that can make studying much more productive and end up saving you a lot of time in the long run. So hopefully these tips help you save time during bar prep.